Greetings, everyone. Tommy Hawksblood here, calling from the Big Island of Hawaii. They're going to be a little bit different today. It's going to be hardcore, the best I can make it, or the worst I can make it, however you want to look at it. All right, let me just open up the comments. Is that you?
Well, yeah.
All right. So the topic is alien agenda versus human agenda. All right. I hope you know what agenda means. It means they're like mission in their controlled environment where they go and what they want to do with another environment. Meaning aliens' agenda coming here, humans' agenda what we're doing to the planet. So, okay, I want to start with, for me, Hawaii has a lot going on here. We've got so much UFO stuff, so many chemtrails going on. The volcanoes are starting to go crazy. Now, Sasha just sent me a link. Something dramatic's going on. I'll try to stick the link up. Or you can just stick it into the chat room if you want, Sasha, if you can. It's something really dangerous. They're trying to create a tsunami. All right, they got all these multiple earthquakes going off. Greetings. So check it out. If you can put that up, Sasha, please do. Otherwise, I'll stick it up in a little while. All right. Now, outside of that, the UFO world, to me, and I'll let Tina fill her side in, is going crazy. So I'll let Tina say hello.
Hello, guys. Hi, I'm Tina Bird here, ET girl in England, Southampton in the UK. And sorry again for us not having our show last week. There was a few issues, so we couldn't go ahead with the show, but we're here this week. Like Tommy said, there's lots of things going on, and the alien agenda is something we should now be looking at. Tommy's right, but a few things on what Tommy just said, and Sasha as well. So here in England, it's now my pronunciation is terrible, as you all know. Is it the Cumbria Fairy, the one in the Canary Islands, has started to erupt, and the plumes from that are now reached the UK. Now, in 2013, Horizon Television it was a scientific program. There were scientists on the island came up with a model, and they said that last time this thing erupted, it split it in two, and it's a mega volcano like Yellowstone. It's a super volcano. Now, they said if this thing collapses, the caldera collapses, which it is starting to at the moment, if the west side went down, the tsunami it would create is a 3,000 mile. Is it 3,000 miles or 300? No, I think it's what is. Oh, it's about 300 kilometer wave, traveling at 450 miles an hour. That's a speed jet. And it would take 8.5 hours to reach the UK, and it would wipe most of Africa and the States out. Now, and it would hit the southern shores of the UK. It would wipe us out. I'll be gone, and as soon as it hit us, I'll be dead. So, but just to the right of that volcano, the next one up there, because it's 2,700 miles from us. The next one over from us is Mount Etna, which erupted yesterday, started to erupt and produce smoke yesterday. And the closest one to us is actually Mount Vesuvius, which is the next one over from Etna. The other one that's closest to us is Iceland, and that started to erupt last week and the week before. So the three big major ones nearest the UK are all going up on the same time. So there is definitely something going on or pulling the Earth to create these magma chambers. I know we do heat up and move, but a lot of the pulling in the Earth and moving about and shaking the Earth up is caused by passing objects that pull the Earth. I know the sun's having a bit of a hissy fit at the moment, but that's probably needs something to be looking at. And I think we should be very alert as to our surroundings and things that are actually going on that can affect us that distance away. So there are a lot of things going on right now. And in between that, ICAR released a statement last week or the week before. They had their World Conference in Spain, I believe, before all this got pretty bad. And they actually released a statement to say that human and alien contact abduction is real. And they've now come out and said it is contact between non-human biological entities and human beings is actually taking place. It's a real thing. So it's good that they actually stepped forward, and we should be aware of things like that. There are so many things, like Tommy said, now this is all coming to a head. They'll be listening. They think people like me and Tommy are just argumentative. They don't want to know the truth or don't want to hear it. It doesn't sound right. These things are happening. So agendas and alien agendas and human agendas, as Tommy said, should be looked at. But apart from that, Tommy, I hear the volcano on Hawaii is now starting to erupt. Is that right?
It's not overflowing yet, but it's rising about a couple feet every day, and it's been rising for 2 weeks straight already. So it could start pouring over real soon and go into the tubes and everything else. But we'll see. I don't worry about things like that for myself personally, because I'm only here for a short time. So come or go, it doesn't matter. But I want to bring this up. Now, everybody that's watching this video, please put this video on every UFO site you go near or see or hear. I want to try to get these people in the UFO world to listen to this show, because we're not liars. We're not storytellers like most of those people are. In my lifetime, I dealt with probably more abductees than probably anybody else in the UFO world. I started when I was 14. Tina, you still there? All right. What I was going to say is she just disappeared. Sorry about that.
Sorry, I clicked on Sasha's link and it locked me out. It just said it was restricted.
Oh, okay.
I can't go on that link. It's restricted channel in the UK.
All these speakers, including Lou Elizondo, who I've been trying to get in touch with for 3 months now, didn't even reply once, are talking about things that are so useless in the UFO world. It's time to talk about what's really going on. Not, is a Tic Tac real? I mean, if you're that, I can't say all these words I'd like to say, but if you're that lame and so unaware of truth, I feel sorry for you. We got ships going over Hawaii every night. I mean, and they're not UFO. I mean, they're not satellites, and they say, well, there's not a UFO, it's a satellite. No, it's not. Satellites can't stop. They can't go backwards. They can't do a lot of things.
Satellites aren't in the atmosphere, people. They're not above a couple of 100 feet or a couple of 1,000 feet above your house. They're outside the atmosphere.
My other friend's been filming these weird kind of ships every night now, too, as well. These light ships and beams of light. Something's going on. The Earth's starting to go crazy. But people are being pushed into this dumb state because of the virus. And it's not a virus. It's just bacteria, disease-ridden chemical poisoning, for me to say what it is. But again, I shouldn't have said that. Sorry, people. But people are dying. There's no doubt about that, whether they had the injection or whether they didn't. So something's really screwed up with the whole idea of what they're trying to create. And if you don't know what Agenda 21-30 is, UN Agenda 21-30, find out. It's real. It's happening. Mr. Gates, Mr. Musk are involved with it. Listen to what they're saying. Watch what they're doing. It has nothing to do with helping people, really. Gates is still trying to say cows are farting destroying the ozone layer. That's baloney.
Well, our Prime Minister came out yesterday, you can check this out online, guys, and said that recycling plastics in the UK is not working. So they basically don't recycle plastics anymore because it's not working. So I'm not quite sure what the next step here in the UK is. But just to touch on one thing Tommy has said, aliens are actually been sighted more around volcanism and volcanic eruptions than any other time, and things like Fukushima and things like that. So it's quite interesting that more sightings are happening with the amount of volcanism going on around the world. I'd be interested about how many volcanoes that they've actually seen UFOs near.
Well, I I'm not going to say I explored inside the Earth and what alien races are there or not. I didn't go that far in my study, my work, my everything I did. But if there is a race inside the Earth, they do come out during the volcano explosions and stuff like that. When I first moved to Hawaii, which was about 20 years ago, a friend I met right away says he's got pictures of ships going in and out of the volcano. He wanted me to do a movie on it, and I watched it. You can see the ships going in and out, but it was too fuzzy and to try to even make it into a movie and show it as a thing. I'm not like that. If it's not clear, why show it to people? I mean, if it's crystal clear, they'll say, "Oh, it's fake," and if it's blurry, why can't they get a real camera? You can't please people because they don't want to believe it. But getting back to these speakers, I listen to every single one of them. I write letters and stuff. I don't get one reply. Come on, shut off. Man, sorry about that. All right, these people won't reply because they have a business. They're making money. They're promoting a lie, promoting a story, and they don't want to lose that. Even the spiritual people have given people false hope, false ideas. Everything's beautiful. Everything's going to be okay. We're moving into a higher dimension. We are not, people.
I mean, as well, what on the back of all this, and on the back of all this, Tommy's right, but what people, normal people like me and you, everyday people that get up, go to work because we have to, we don't have the money to stay at home all day. We're just everyday working people. Now, if these people know this is going on, they've interviewed all these statesmen and everything else, they know abduction is going on. Where is it warning the public about alien abduction? Where is it telling you that everything's okay and they're going to be keeping us safe and this will stop? Where is the help for the general public and where is the protection for the general public? And it's all right going to all these conferences and things like that, which I completely agree. If everyone should broaden their mind, if that's something that you want to do. But go listen to what they have to say, but question. If you're never sure or you don't know, I'm encouraging everyone to ask questions. You don't get nowhere without questions, but I don't see anywhere in all of these meetings and agendas and like Tommy said, speakers, where is it a guide to saying humanity is safe? We're going to try and stop alien abduction. Here is the help. We know these aliens are coming here. We don't know where they're from, but we can protect you. They're not saying that. They're not giving the human race guidance. So that should be ringing alarm bells for anybody.
Well, somebody put a link up in on one of the sites about Bob Dean. I was friends with him. He was one of the top speakers in the UFO world when I first went into it publicly. He died. He actually gave somebody else and me $500 to start to do a UFO conference. He was an incredible guy. I got into some personal conversations with him. Kind of feel he was different than normal people for some reason. But he had the highest clearance in the government with somebody else I know. So, but he's no longer here. And outside of him, Sergeant 18 and I were one of the top speakers from 96 to 2000. In the UFO world, nobody was putting anything important out there. Well, we put pictures of ships that we shot every day. We shot anywhere from 3 to 60 different kinds of ships in a day, or in a week. We would have so many films of pictures of ships and stuff, different kinds. Nobody else had that in the United States. Nobody put it up. And when we were doing that, it seemed like nobody cared. The people that came to our UFO conference, which was global sciences, which we did a couple workshops. Not me, I didn't run it, but we spoke at it around the United States for a couple years. And just so you know, one person would be killed before a year coming to that conference. They tried to stop some speakers from telling their truth and showing it. When they got there, the freaking government would be all over us. Black helicopters would be flying over the place, and black vans would follow people. They were on top of us. But luckily, we made it through. Sergeant 18 and I, we kind of split up, I guess, last year. I don't know what his problem was. He came into money and then he went into hiding. That's the only way I look at it. Sorry, people. We were probably the best team out there. We told the truth as we saw it and filmed it, and we're part of it. But right now, these UFO people that are speaking still have to talk about Roswell like it was the most important thing. It wasn't. It was anything but the most important UFO abduction. Tina's story was better than that story even. So the thing that one of the worst...
It's not a military story, Tommy. They're only highlighting it because it was a military story. Now, if that farmer at Roswell had kept it and not informed the military and informs, like, I don't know, just a normal, I know it was the sheriff's department at the time, in this day and age, and just said, look, here is the evidence without phoning the military, it would be a completely different story today. It's because it was a military story. And they only say that credible people like astronauts and admirals, but they're still members of the general populace. They're still members. They just have a better job classification, a better pay grade, really.
But see, that story is not really important. What happened wasn't really important. All right, there was 3 ships shot down when that ship was shot down. You don't even hear the stories about the 2 other ones. I studied with... I was with a medicine person.
Each other.
I was with a medicine person that his grandfather actually was with one of the aliens. They kept it alive for 9 months. A ship came down and took it away. But outside of that, the most important story in the UFO world within the United States that I know was what happened in New Jersey, Wanacue, New Jersey. All right. The second story that's most important is Phil Snyder's story.
Yeah.
Not any other story, because that's situations and people and everything else getting killed and you name it. They flooded a city in Wanacue, New Jersey. Ships came in and out of there for 9 months. The Army was stationed around it. Couldn't do a thing about it.
I mean, what is also interesting is when Philip Schneider allegedly passed away.
Just say when he was killed. Don't say.
Yeah, because I don't know how you can wrap yourself up with barbed wire and things like that. Anyway, so when he died, his story, they're saying it's not credible, and you get all these people always trying to discredit you. You know, people should ask questions and never take anything on face value. And you should learn, but the military remained so silent. If something did not happen, they would turn and say, "No, hold on a second. You know, that's wrong." But then you can't overlook 20 military personnel deaths. That's not something you could sweep under the carpet. What he's saying, if you checked out his story, the amount of Delta Force that died. Now, these bodies are somewhere and they've been cremated and buried and their families have had them back. His story has credibility. So how can you say that these people did not die when these people are dead?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you read the last comment in there, but when Phil Snyder supposedly committed suicide when he was killed, it ended the story. And then actually they come out with false information trying to tear him apart. Now, John Ford, who's in the nut house in Long Island, all right, shot the best video ever shot of a ship crashed on the ground. And they're not going to let him out of the nut house. They wouldn't even let him go to trial. He was supposed to go to trial for the past 10 years. And they keep saying, no, we have to reevaluate him for another year. So people, you want the truth? Get some UFO people to get him out of jail. They're afraid to talk to him because he's real. And the government's watching him like a hawk. Now he's in jail. They don't have to spend that much energy on him. But when real people talk about UFO stuff, you don't think they're talking about and seeing what they're doing and watching? Now,
Tommy, can I ask you, if you think, like you said, the title, alien agenda versus human agenda, do you think they're any different? They're either exchanging something. We want something from each other. We want technology. They want DNA, or they want our planet. I don't know. Whatever it is. You know, what's the value in that? What is the outcome for the British? The human beings, the human populace. It's not good.
There's nothing good for the outcome of the humans. All right, they're not giving us anything that helps us survive and become better people. They're just giving us weapons, and that's totally useless for people that love and have compassion and have feelings and emotions. The trade-off is they're allowed to take people. And that's not a trade-off that we should accept or even allow. Why do you think they can't come out? Why do you think the government can't come out and say, well, we work with aliens? What are they going to tell the world?
Well,
Well,
they
we
honestly don't think we're worth approaching. If they've been covertly for thousands of years, because governments really didn't exist back then, if they've been covertly taking people and abducting people all through history, there's stories of beings that came down from the sky. Or they came down from the sky. You know, they told people what they saw. This has been going on for a long time, which means they didn't think human beings were worthy of holding a conversation with, saying, "Hold on, can you help us out with a few liters of blood, or can you help us out with a bit of your DNA?" They obviously don't think we're worth communicating with or making a deal with. They're just going to take from us. So it's got to now where, people like me just turn around and say, this is happening. What is our government's doing about it? And if they're not doing nothing about it, not listening to their taxpayers, and where does that leave the taxpayers? Sasha, hello.
he's busy, but I just left him there in case he wants to talk or say anything.
Yes,
All
hello.
right. So here's the thing, people. There's so many things going on, but none of it is important. Now, I'm doing a workshop, and it's invitation only. And I'm going into all the truth about things that people really should know if they're interested in becoming a aware being, meaning aware of who and what they really are, not being pulled into the matrix. And this is the matrix of the worst kind. All right. Most people believe that this is it. This is the most important place. They're important. Everything going on is important. It's not. This is as close to what I would call hell as you can get. There's nothing positive creating anything good on this planet. And there hasn't been for 30,000 years. Spaceships and rockets aren't beneficial to the human race. Weapons are not beneficial to the human race. So all we talk about is nuclear weapons. And I just had to write a letter. We're beyond nuclear weapons, people. Somebody says we all should have nuclear weapons and nobody'd play with them. No, it would take a country like Iran or Iraq to say, well, let's fool them. Let's just blast them apart and send a bunch of nuclear weapons up. And they would do it. So, it's like somebody goes into a bank with a gun shooting everybody. They know they're going to get shot. But, it's ego.
I mean, we're helpless against volcanoes that are going off now on our planet. I mean,
But,
the next big one's going to be the end of us lot, and that's it. Who's going to help us then?
I think they're controlling them. And that the article that Sasha just gave me, I believe it totally. What they're doing, they're going to try to force a tsunami to hit. And basically, China is trying to eliminate the Philippines. They want that whole waterway and everything else to control it. That would destroy them completely right away. So that's just one little thing. Go ahead.
I sent you another link in private chat there. It's somebody found an interesting correlation with a video game that was made in 2009 called Secret Files 2. In it, they have the elites specifically calling for an artificially instigating the tsunami of La Palma volcano, and the tsunami would go to America and destroy us, basically. So I sent that link. Yeah, see, they give us what they're doing out in public. You just have to see it.
See, people, let me say this. People, understand this. This is real. This ain't a made-up story. The New World Order, by whatever they want to call themselves, have to tell the world what they do before they do it. And they do that. They don't have to make sure you believe it or you accept it. They just have to tell you they're going to do it. When Denver Airport was built, and I went into that a couple times already, is a base for landing of ships in the future. That's what it was made for. All right. I don't want to go into that because I want to stick with what I'm trying to get into with these speakers and what's happening right now, and the people being pulled into this stuff, spending all their money, going to these conferences, listening to stories that are useless, talking about when big people come out and say, well, the Tic Tac should be real. It is real, but we still can't prove that it's from outer space. Well, look at a real ship. Show a picture of a ship and say that's Russian or German or Chinese. People, when we see motherships come over and they're being sighted everywhere now, around the planet, people, just like the day the Earth, not the day the Earth stood still, what was the other one? Oh, War of the Worlds. Pull that movie up, watch it. All the ships surrounded the planet, and they're close to doing it. They're not attacking us.
I think aliens they're connected to volcanism in some way, and what scares me is the vision at the end when they show you different visions of things, and they showed me like the world was going to end and this like grey explosion stuff, and we were screwed totally. Never mind, you're going to die anyway, kind of thing. And it's scary, especially when I see like all this the volcano stuff going up. It really like knocks it home to me. It makes me a bit paranoid, to be honest with you.
Well, these UFO speakers are getting to lots of different things. They're bringing Jesus into the picture. I mean, even all these other groups, the spiritual groups, are talking about Jesus now. And the New Age world kind of wiped him out as much as they wiped God. Billy Myers, because really the fountainhead of the UFO explosion, claimed that Jesus was an alien. All right. So, you know, what they're trying to do is reprogram people to accept the new program. We were given a program way back when Atlantis was destroyed, and it hasn't been changed since. And nothing good came out of that program. People, you know, I'm not saying this because I want to make a story or get money. I want you to start looking, find the facts, find the truth. It's not easy. I'm 68. I spent my whole life in this field dealing with people after people. I could tell a liar and not. But, you know, when MUFON was created, it was created by Bud Hopkins. Bud Hopkins never even saw a UFO, never saw an alien. So here's a person that knows nothing about nothing, listens to other people, and creates a scenario. What I'm saying is listen to people that have a scenario of something really happening to them, like Tina. But she has a lot of proof in between everything she says, more so than most people. Well, I was abducted. And they knew what we talk about that all the time. The experience. Well, they came in my room, took me, and they brought me to a beautiful place and fed me nice dinner. All right. Now, how about what are they really doing? Why would they want to do that with you? What person on this planet is important to an alien for themselves? Not for their blood, not for their ovaries, but for themselves. Well, he's a super smart person. Tesla was not a smart person. He was given 200 inventions. He didn't go to school and studied all these things and came out and created it. Einstein also stole many things, but in the interim, he met with an alien race and created theories as well. But his theories aren't real. Some of them are pretty well twisted. And it's going to take the human race a while to figure that out. But they already proved about 3 of the things he said. We can't go backwards and forward in time, which was a total lie. All right. He said there can't be something bigger than a certain object, which we just found in space, which is the biggest object in the universe. So when people say things and people believe it, that's the problem. In this UFO world, all these people coming out and saying, we're going to talk to aliens and we can eliminate our government. Really? What kind of pathetic thinking is that? What did you say that these aliens said that would make it beneficial to have them telling us what to do? These people go on about lies and stories. Where is the proof of anything important? All these people working with these aliens and they can't come up with a toothbrush even. I mean, take their fingernail. Ask them for anything. Go ahead, Tina.
So I was just reading that last comment. Whose galaxy is the coolest? So from I got just completely threw me then that comment. Sorry. What would you want then? So if it was you, just based on like UFOs landed, what everyone likes to see, UFOs land on the White House lawn, and they have a list of demands or a committee or someone they can speak to. What's the one question or 3 questions you could ask them? Like, what do you want? Where do you come from? And, you know, how long do we have, or what can you do for us? What would you want human beings saying, asking, and disclosing to the public? What would you want to see?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
All right. First off, I know what they want. Second off, they're not here to help us. So third, there would be no reason for that conversation, because they already had it. And they said, well, we'll trade. We'll give you your stuff that you can use, and you give us what we need. And that what they need is human bodies and body parts.
So now, just to educate the public, that something like Tommy said, I think it was the Eisenhower administration, I think, or the one before, had that conversation already.
Truman.
Harold Truman, I do correct myself. So how many years ago was that? 70?
1947.
40, so 80 years ago?
A long time ago.
So this was 80 years ago, so nearly 100 years, guys. So this conversation took place nearly a century ago. So where have we moved on to since then? Because we're still having the same argument nearly 100 years later. Nothing has changed. The human race is stalled with these questions. What's going on?
Can't people see that? Like you said, I say this, every 10 years we take a giant leap. Every 25 years we leap into a whole different reality. You're talking 80 years. Where are we? Well, is a UFO real? How ignorant are we programmed and dumbed down? And people don't realize it. I'm going to a UFO conference. I'm going to listen to how the good aliens are going to help us. Help us what? I was friends with somebody from Majestic 12. Right. He was killed. But here's the thing. He offered us honey. I told this story a couple times. Honey that can cure any disease on this planet.
74 years. Sorry.
Years. All right. And he was killed. We never got the honey. But imagine that. Whatever race they were working with, which they were working with many, like Bob Dean said, I think it was 37 races. All right. And have 3 other people that I'm friends with. One just died. That all said that they worked with anywhere from 27 to 37 races. Now, let's go to Russia. All right. Putin said they're working with 27 races. He said it on Russian TV. And he said 2 of them want to destroy the planet. All right. If you got 2 alien races that want to destroy the planet, the other ones are totally useless. Because they're we come in peace. Okay. A piece of what? Piece of our money? What do you want to be peace with? The ignorance of the human race? We can't be in a normal relationship. We can't form a loving relationship without having problems and fighting and separating and multiple weird relationships after. And aliens are going to come help us do what? Tell us we should stay in a marriage and be good people? I mean, Jesus came and said that.
Aliens wanted to help humanity, not even humanity, other animals or mammals on the planet. And surely they could stop. I know if Mars had volcanoes, it would be a lot like Earth today, and their volcanoes are dormant, that don't work at all. Without our volcanoes, we wouldn't be here. But they're not saving the plant life. They're not saving the marine life. They're not saving the animals from all this volcanism. They're not saving endangered species. So not really exactly helping human life or animal life or plant life. If we were such a peril to be looked after, they're not exactly doing the world any favors.
I want to do a short switch right now. All right. Out of all the creatures on this planet, including monkeys, the dolphin is the most intelligent creature on this planet. Their brain is equal to our size. I think it's 3/4 of a meter smaller, but it's very equal to our brain, meaning they can do everything we can, but they don't have arms and legs and everything else. But they use different parts of the brain that we do not, radar and things like that. All right. Now, the United States Army has been working with dolphins for almost 20 years, killing about 10,000 a year.
More than that. I mean, you planted mines in World War I or II, wasn't it, Tommy?
No, I'm talking they bring them in and they're trying to train them to kill people and things like that. But even the trainer of Flipper, who I met as well, is spending the rest of his life trying to save dolphins from being slaughtered like they do in these other countries. But what I was trying to say is, what do you think an alien would do with a dolphin's brain? If it can use radar and use other things that we cannot use.
I think...
The same as the humans, all right, are still trying to get to the point where they could use the other parts of their brain, which they can't. Okay, Jane,
we don't use our brain often enough, but I think seeing they're not inside their brain, but seeing from inside their link, I would say they're more attuned to, I want to say dolphin level. I've never spoken to dolphins, so I wouldn't know. But they don't use their mouth. They don't use anything orally. Probably like me, a bit bad dentistry. I can tell you that. But they have more in common, I would say, with dolphins than they do with human beings. But if dolphins communicate each other through the brain, sound and waves, we all do to a point we don't recognise we do that, like with
Tina,
pheromones and hormones and signals.
Wait, Tina, let me just say this before you go any further. Dolphins can learn 150 words. A monkey can only learn 50 words.
A parrot can learn more.
Go ahead, Tina. Sorry.
Tommy's right, but parrot has other species out there that can learn more words than even a gorilla that was taught sign language. All mammals, animals, and birds travel and use frequencies, color, light, sound, different parts of our senses. It's been trained out of us over the years. Like Tommy said, we've been dumbed down so much with everyday human living that we've overcome, or not surpassed, we've overcome and blocked out our history, what human beings are actually capable of. We don't know what half to 3/4 of our brain actually does. We beyond going back and thinking what we can communicate between different animals and recognize that. I mean, like I said, being in there being these non-human biological entities, whatever they're calling them now, inside their link, it's like they're not like us. They are very inside. They're very different from us. And I would say, like Tommy said, if you could look inside probably a dolphin's communication, that's probably what it would look like.
Tina, what do you agree? Do you think on this, as a group of humans on this planet, we should actually have a live meeting, not charging everybody hundreds of dollars to get there, all the supposedly top people and people that have any awareness of what's going on, sit in a big giant round table and actually talk about what's fact, what's real, and what's not. You would be surprised because these people wouldn't be able to say, well, I heard this story. And when they tell the story, well, they make it sound like they were there and they did it. And they have no clue. They read something and they created the theory around what the story would feel like. So imagine that. Imagine having people that would actually talk about what we have as proof, what evidence we have. And I think millions of people being abducted is a proof that we have been abducted. All right. It's not like a million drunks came out and said we've all been abducted. And their stories wouldn't be. When they hypnotize people and they get the exact same story, I just listened to that last night. 6 people all told the exact same story in detail through hypnosis. So obviously they experienced it. Now, when you get somebody, well, I think I went through a door. I think I flew up over the house. No, when you hypnotize and you really hypnotize, you get back to that state. And that's why I can't wait till Tina does it. Because it's something she wants to know, which whatever she learns, we learn. As a group, we don't hide our truth. We don't hide our secrets. I tell you everything I experience, anything you want to know from death, life, rebirth, all that, I'm a part of that too. So, but here's the thing, people. This is the only station, only show where you're going to get the ultimate truth all the time. I don't bring liars and storytellers on here. I'm waiting for 2 people that I trust to come on. One of them is dying. The other one's going through a lot. But they both have really incredible stories. One of them discovered Area 51. And I think that was one of the most important events at the time when it happened. And because that made them buy all that land around it and build this security system around it to make sure nobody ever else gets in there. But again, people, this is up to you. I can only give you information. You need to find out if it's real, if it's true. What we're talking about is lies. All right. I put my life, I'm accountable to God. I believe in God. I know God is real, and I give myself over to that. So if I say anything stupid or give people false information, I'm accountable for that. And the word's karma. I'm not creating karma. I don't want to come back to this planet again. All right. When they talk about getting into these dimensions, you're staying here, people. You're not getting into the higher worlds which God created, which are incredible compared to here. If you like the Matrix and playing with weapons and guns and crime and all those other things, stay here. Go to a place where that doesn't exist. Imagine that. Oh, no. Imagine a place where that stuff doesn't exist. Atlantis was an incredible place when it was active and alive. When it was destroyed, yes, it got deteriorated real fast, and then it got wiped out. But, no other time in history was planet Earth in a place of peace and bliss as it was at that time frame in the physical body. So it wasn't like you had to leave your body and go into a la-la state and say, oh, I'm in one with everything. So, yeah, so what? Now what? Nothing. If you lose who you are, the whole idea of everything was destroyed. God created souls to individualize, learn what they are. All right. And that's what we each are. We're not aliens. Well, per se, what we assume aliens are, but we're all aliens. We're all from somewhere. I mean, that doesn't make us different in any way. I mean, if we got arms and legs, eyes and teeth and mouth and all that, we're very much the same. I mean, if we got 2 heads and 6 tails and everything else, then it's a little bit different. But we're talking about humans, so-called humans. And they said, are you an alien? Oh, yeah, I'm from Russia. That makes you an alien? Yeah, by our definition.
Recently, there was a DNA test done on a young lady somewhere, and she is known to have had the same DNA makeup as what we would call the first Eve from out of sub-Saharan Africa. Now, if they test other people and they don't have that, where do they come from?
You know, the truth that man lives by is so unbalanced, out of proportion, and it would never fit together with the rest of the truth. I mean, they take parts and squeeze it into what they want to mold it into. Like you said, somebody else just said that to me. Well, Adam and Eve, what, did they have sex with their children? Of course they did, if that was a true story. They would have never populated if they didn't. So, you know, it's like, well, the stories are so misput together because they were written by man. God didn't come down and hand us the tablets. Moses wrote the tablets. The Sumerian tablets, somebody else wrote them or carved them. It's not like God said, here's a tablet and put it on the planet and made everybody read it. I mean, if God was doing that, it would be a totally different story. But this is where we have to learn what we are and why we're here. And once you do that, then there's no reason to stay here unless you want to play with all the monkeys and hang out peeling bananas. I mean, that's your story. Let's get into the details, what aliens are doing. And it's nothing good, people. Nothing. All right. I mean, I started when I was, 6 years old when I saw my first alien ship, and it was coming to abduct my brother. It was not a good thing. By the time I was 12, my first alien came walking in my house. I was with my friend, and we were chasing it with bats. We didn't know. We weren't afraid either. And we saw the ship take off. Was that a Russian ship? No, not by any aspect of a Russian ship, because the being that was in our house had a cat's head, and it walked right through the door. So that wasn't a Russian.
See, what happened to me, I was about the same age as Tommy, but all I saw was this light. I didn't know anything about aliens, laser beams, nothing. Star Wars hadn't even come out then. So, you know, so these accounts are, for me, at the time, you don't know what aliens are. You just don't think it's normal, but you just think, you stood there and all you think, yeah, that's not right. Get out of there. But children don't know about aliens and things like that. So it's you know.
I want to just backtrack to what you said about this woman with the DNA. All right. Somebody just put Hopi in there. Yeah, well, I was friends with the oldest Hopi elder. They have a DNA that nobody else on this planet has. So where'd they come from, people? All right, you know, the Mayans,
as well, isn't it?
The Mayans say they brought the Hopi people here, which is another lie. People can say things when there's no way to prove them right or wrong. And that's sad. I said, it's time that we act. I don't even want to read that one. So getting back
to John, we do not promote animal cruelty.
Animal cruelty, well, guess what? Japan does, China does. I mean, all these other countries do. Hey, look who came in. Hi, Union. Greetings. You ever want to come on anytime? Yeah, I want to bring him on sometime soon as well. We need people that are a lot more aware, not living in program fantasy land, la la land. People with experience, people with knowledge, and people that actually went through these things and living their life knowing that it's real. I lived my whole life knowing all this is real. None of it's dreams. None of it's fake. Sure, I had a lot of dreams, but there's a difference when you have a dream. And then there's a dream of past lives, which is also different. So there's many things people need to work with and understand. It's all not fake. I say this, you either believe it's all real or it's all not. When people say I believe in angels, but I don't believe in Satan, I believe in God, but I don't believe in Lucifer. Well, you have to realize it's all part of the same picture that you're in, and they're either there or you're just dreaming everything, and you're not even here. You're just a dream. You got a choice, people. And while you're here, you got to live to do what you can here. And it's not save mankind, because we can't do that. The alien race won't let that happen.
I don't even think they could if they wanted to. Hello, Eugene. Did you want to ask a question? If not, don't worry. You can just listen
I think he's just listening, but he would if he needs to. We need to have a conversation soon as well. People like him and like my good friend Sean David Martin, who just got out of jail, who's dying. These people have a lot more. He's one of the smartest people I know, and that's for real, because he's a genius. He could read a book in an hour and know what it said in detail. So never mind what he did, what the government did to him.
Is that your little doggy?
I gotta let Mr. Guy out.
That's okay. Well, Tommy lets his lovely little adorable little doggy out. Bless him. I love animals. If any of you'd like to ask a question now, be a great time before we go off in about 10 minutes. There you go. So it's alien agenda versus human agenda. I think human beings are their own worst enemy. I have always said that all the way along. As for alien agenda, it could be anything. I can only tell you from my experience what I think it is. I'm not an expert with military or anything like that. I'm just an expert in alien abduction, and I'm only that because I've been abducted. Apart from that, yes, it's Geiger counter time. So Tommy now is demonstrating to you guys. I was very ill one time, and as you know, and Tommy said, "Tina, get a Geiger counter." I thought he was joking, but I actually managed to track this one down. I got it on Amazon. Tommy also got exactly the same one. He's just been flashing it to you. Got that on Amazon, guys. There you go. Tommy's is flashing because his is right near his screen. He doesn't have a smart screen like mine. And the top one here, I'm just going to turn it on there. So the top one is a volts per meter. That's electrical magnetism. There you go, volts per meter. And the bottom one is microteslas. That's radiation and other things like that. So Tommy's only flashed the top one. Tommy, hold yours up again because it's picking up voltage from his computer screen. Mine is not, however, because mine does not. There you go. Tommy's is flashing 65, 50. Yeah, there you go.
When I turn it around, it goes to 180, believe it or not.
Yeah.
When I turn it towards me, it's
I can see it flashing in your glasses. I can see it flashing in your glasses. So there you go.
Right.
So mine is not flashing because I have one of those safe smart screen computers. Now, sometimes 90% of the times I will hold it towards me and it goes off like there's nothing. The last time we did it, it didn't register a peep. I was quite shocked. So we're going to give it a go today. So we're going to, if I could try and get closer. So you see the bottom one, which is microteslas, which is radiation. See that, guys? There is that 0.5
people. That is not really happening. I mean, in the scientific world, it can't happen. So what you're seeing is beyond what science can prove or not prove. Radiation doesn't come and go. It can't go to different parts and then pop out, pop in. It stays there. Radiation is permanent, unless you're dealing with like the CERN. When they turn it on, it's there. When they turn it off, it's not. When you're talking about real radiation, which is in her body, she has all the symptoms of radiation poisoning. All right. And she's doing good for that.
There's no point. No, stop. Hold on.
I can't see it.
Oh, no. Hold on. It was 0.5 then. Hold on.
Well.
Oh, there.
So this is real. We don't have fake Geiger counters. We're not making this up because we want to entertain people. I just said, when she talked about it, I said, get a Geiger counter. And then we both got one. And suddenly, even her dog had radiation in its bones. So, radiation's around her. And that's why I think she should be hypnotized, because maybe the dog was taken with her. We don't know. But whether she was contagious with radiation, I mean, radiation's toxic. toxic at a high level. She's lucky to be alive, and I hate to say that, Tina, but you are. I mean, she's
Thank you,
losing her
Tommy.
teeth, she's losing a lot of things, but I'm just glad she's here. She's losing her hair. She's going through all
I
the
just want to
symptoms.
answer a few questions in the chat room. So, am I expecting to be taken again? And has it happened lately? So, I don't expect it. I'm a hope. I don't know why I was taken in the first place. I'm nothing special. Anyone that's ever taken will tell you that. We don't know why. I don't know why. As expected to be taken, I hope never to be taken again in my whole life, whatever life I have left.
You know why, Tina. You know why.
Sorry?
You know why.
So
I hope you put it in your book. I hope you put it in your book because you know why. So don't say you don't know why. You don't like to talk about it, but you know why. But the other things you don't know, we need to get the answers to.
So, and then how do we know it's a dream? What we know is a dream then. So when you've been taken, been abducted, and dreaming are two completely different things, nothing like each other. So having a dream and waking up and you flick through a few things and you can't remember it, that's a dream. And you wake up in your bed, you know you're dreaming, you still got your pajamas on, and it dissolves after a couple of minutes. You have problems remembering. This thing is sorry?
She had implants as well, people, and she even had a boyfriend.
I had that one taken. See my scar there you go. I had it taken out. Apparently there's something else in there, but they can't take it out because it's going to take too much skin out within my hand. My book, so just to tell you guys, so this is my book. I'm having problems with the editing at the moment. I had this this cover made. It's going to be called The Bonded, The Truth About Alien Abduction, Tina Bird's account. And it's called The Bonded because one thing that happened that made me call it that is when I didn't know what was going to happen, took me completely by surprise, is when this bench thing was rag on. And first time I remember them letting me get up and walk around the craft, or whatever you call it, in this room. I felt drugged and a bit of taste, and I couldn't walk around, and it was awful. But I see these black pods, and they let me touch a pod, and in these pods were babies. I didn't realise that they were clones of babies of me. And when I touched it, I could hear all of them. I didn't know that they for a split second, I thought they're only breeding females. They're all females. And then I'm not sure what happened next. Anyway, when I was yanked back on this bench for whatever was coming next, they wanted me to bond. They wanted a human, biological, physical bond with this baby. It was me as a clone of me. It was me as a baby. It looked like me. I had hair. It was me, but as a baby. And when they brought it up and held it up, I freaked out. You can't move, so freaking out. When you mentally freak out, when something's really shocked you and you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, your brain's not working and you can't think. Your hormone level must be going like 200%. That's probably what they picked up on. Whisked the baby away. Anyway, they came back because they said they came back with it and said, I asked them what had happened. And they said that I'd frightened the baby, and they obviously took her off for protection. And when they brought it back, that she'd asked them that she wanted to bond with me, that she needed to have this bond to say that she'd met me, and she took a picture, like captured the essence of a picture, if you like. She showed me it in my mind, and it was on every level. It was given off you like this picture contained your pheromone hormones. It was a picture of me, of everything, and it was weird to see. But once she'd had it, that was it. So it was like a bonding process, not something I needed. It's something they needed. So I would have been quite not happy not to have that. I think I was still in doubt what I was seeing, what was going on. It was craziness, but it's very scary to see something like that. But yeah, let me just read the other comments, Tommy.
People, we're running out of time, and she's going to be leaving us soon. So I want people to get in touch with us if they got questions, answers. We're open for both. Hawksblood1AOL.com. Tina Bird, she's on a couple sites. You can pull her up and send links to her directly as well. We're here to bring truth out. We're not here to exaggerate anything. We're not here to make anything better than what it is. It's just the plain hardcore truth. And it's hardcore because all this stuff, nothing's really good and positive. I mean, except we're trying to become aware of what's happening, which should make us a little bit better about what's going on and being able to help change it. So, Tina, do you want to promote anything else before you leave us?
So I have my other books, which I'm sorting out, and one of my friends' books. But no, I'm going to say when my book comes out, hopefully I'm sorting an editor out for it. The Bonded, The Truth About Alien Abduction, guys. Keep your eye out for that. That should be out, I'll say shortly. I'm hoping before the end of this year, but it might be next year. I'm trying to get it out as quick as possible, but it won't be my life story. It would just be my story about my account, about what I've witnessed. And there's my account was investigated, so my investigative statements in there. It was in 4 episodes of the UK Truth UFO, the UFO Truth magazine. So issues 33, 34, 35, I think. So you can also look that up and have a look. You can see my account online. I've been on many talk shows, royalty radio shows, people's blogs. I've been interviewed a few times for it. So it will just be literally my account. So guys, get any questions in there now, because if you can give me any questions, then maybe something I could put in the book, something that I may not think that people need answering, but it would just be my account of what I can remember. I'm not going to fill in any blanks. It would just be what I saw, what I understand, and it be from my perspective. So that should be it. But until next week, again, Tommy, you can email Tommy. Hello, Sasha. You can email, tell me, contact me, ETGal, Tina Bird on Facebook. You can find me on the Hive. You can find Tommy on here. Please come in, message if you want to come on the show and be interviewed by us. If you have questions for us about mine and Tommy's account or anything else, we'd tell you the truth. We'd tell you how it is. But people should always ask their own questions. They don't want an old specimen like me. You'd be surprised. I'm not sure what it is they're after. I presume they took me from a young age, if it was just like female things, if they were just collecting eggs from people, or if they cultivated certain people's bloodlines over the years. I don't know that. They never told me that, so I can't help you with that. I don't know why they took me, but I can tell you one thing: I'm not the only one. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of people up there. They were awake, but they were asleep, like the lights were on and no one's home. So I can't be the only one. I've seen hundreds of people up there. So there are other people. It's whether they come forward. We know millions of people have come forward, but just in that one account where I was taken and that we were on the conveyor belt, there was hundreds of people there. So I'm not the only one. Tommy, with that, I'm going to say thank you very much and goodbye from me in Southampton in the UK. I'm going to send Tommy a little care package as well for Christmas. Tommy, if you message me with anything you would like me to send in your little parcel to Hawaii from England, if you need anything in Hawaii, let me know and I'll send it over in my little care package to Tommy there, guys. And so be safe between now and then. I might be tempted to take you out. Informed consent. Tommy, is there anything you'd like me to send me in your care package? Message me if there is any list.
All right.
But thank you, guys. It's Tina Bird here in the UK, and I shall see you next week, guys.
Thank you, Tina. Sorry about last week.
Stay safe from the volcanoes, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Tina.
Watching and listening. Bye.
All right, people. Tina Bird, she's a great person. If she tells her whole story, it'll amaze you what she went through. I wasn't fooling around. I told her to do something when she did. The ship stayed over her house for the night, and she was really worried they were going to abduct her again. I feel, just my viewpoint, not hers, they are watching her. They're protecting her right now. With a person going through in and out of radiation like she is, something's totally different. So that alone means I feel they're keeping her alive. But she's gotten losing things, her hair, fingernails, and things like that. So it's a dangerous thing. And when it goes that far, I mean, her dog died just a couple of weeks ago. The dog had radiation in its bones as well. So I kind of feel the dog might have been abducted with her. But she doesn't know. And when she's going to go through this hypnosis thing, hopefully soon, I wish I could be with her when she went through it, but I won't be able. She's in another country. and I'm not too much into flying right now or have the money to. So it's like, okay, I wouldn't want to fly right now either. So with that, I want to get into one thing before I close the show out. I'm doing a workshop, people, and I feel it's one of the most important workshops ever done because I'm going against all the lies given to mankind. All of them, not just one of them or two of them, all the lies mankind lives by, believes, and accepts. From relationships, love, compassion, death, reincarnation, angels, deities, demons, and God, all of it. I'm going to give you the ultimate truth in this workshop, people. I'm on class 5 already. I will be doing separate issues and topics later on once I finish the whole course. Anybody interested in learning the truth, feel that they can deal with it, get in touch with me. But most people can't. They're not ready. They're not ready to let go of the lies that they're so happy with. Not that we have any lies that are really beneficial to the human race. All the twisted stories that came out of the most spiritual people, what they turned Jesus into, what they changed what he taught into something else. I mean, Buddha had his own teachings. I mean, they all had different things, but Jesus was responsible for one important thing, and it was the idea of what love was. And it wasn't just love of each other. All right. And you would have to be with him to understand that at any level. So the workshop that I'm doing is about how you can go out, what you need to do, what you have to learn, what you have to be aware of before you die. Because if you die, you're reincarnating and you're going to be starting all over with no awareness of anything that you went through in any of your lives again. Hopefully you're not there. You moved out of that into a more aware state. Say, well, I want to learn the truth. I want to know it. Going to these UFO conferences, they're talking about what the government does with aliens. Who cares? Do you care what they're doing with all our money? No, they're spending it on a space program. Do you care what they're doing with the underground tunnels and cities? No, you care about your paycheck and you're paying your bills. You don't care about the right things. Nobody does. Nobody cares about what happens to their soul when their body dies, which they should. It's much more important because in this lifetime, you have 125 years max. At the end of that, you die. Your body dies. Your soul goes somewhere and it comes back again. And you're not going to be aware of any of that. So this lifetime alone was wasted. Never mind all the other ones you already had that you should be aware of, and you can become aware of them. So where do you want to move in this time frame, in this world that we're in? What do you want to do? Oh, get more money, better job. All these people tell you to be happy and get money. Well, neither one of them is going to help you become spiritually aware or just become aware of truth. And hopefully you're ready to do that. Because if you don't, you're going to die and your soul's going to step out of the body, go to the astral plane. It's going to be based on the karma it created and being reincarnating again. You'll be up there for a short period of time. You'll get to experience it, but you won't remember that either. It's sad. It's like when you go to sleep and you have a dream. You have 100 dreams in a night. How many of them do you remember? Why do you think you would have 100 dreams and not remember them? What purpose would it be for that to happen? See, right now, and it happens to me a lot, if I close my eyes for more than a certain amount of time, I'll be in a dream, in an experience going on. I'm not saying they're going to be all important, which they are not. But if you filter through them, it's working on your feelings, your emotions, which you're attached to, and things like that, which you got to give it all up. Soul doesn't have a brain that functions like it does here. The brain creates the 5 senses of the body. So you have to come to a point when you say, I'm ready for truth. I mean, I only want people to come to my workshop when they're ready to move forward, not listen to the president, the government, the Pope, the Dalai Lama, Eckhart Tolle. All right, these people have no truth about soul, about death, and about all these other things. Spirits that are staying here, even psychics are pretty well, and I'm saying this to every psychic out there, you need to become more spiritually aware. Oh, I'm aware because I can channel? What? Talk to spirits? What? Where are these spirits really? You don't even know. Because if they're still talking to people here, they're not in the higher worlds. People, look, you want the truth, you want the highest truth, you want the real facts. Get involved, come into my workshop. Think about it. And send this link to every UFO person out there because they're all storytellers. I mean, the few that say they're experiencers, meaning they had a good experience, are also storytellers because they were programmed by the race that took them. I mean, Truman was responsible for allowing that to happen. They weren't supposed to remember anything, people. Then what happened, people started realizing things. Then this is what they did recently, 25 years ago, roughly. Change it to not being aware of what happened to giving them a false program. Oh, we went to Venus and we sat down and had some weird kind of food, but it was so good and blah, blah, blah. Nothing important. They're not given one shred of proof of anything either. I'm going to throw this in again. I bring it up a lot. John Lennon was the only person I know in the world that was given an object from an alien. For real. All right, Uri Geller has that object, and he won't let go of it. I wonder if on an open market, if it was sold, what kind of money it would bring in. The government, would they bid on it? Would they care? Would they take it before somebody got it? They didn't take it from them. Whether they were afraid to take it, because it was only 2 weeks after John Lennon gave Uri Geller that stone, John Lennon was killed. And he was killed by somebody who was programmed by somebody else. All right, people, you don't have to listen to anything I say. You don't even have to be here. If you don't like it, don't want to listen, that's your choice. But you want to grow and get beyond the lies, the programs, the storytellers. This is the only place I feel you should go. I'm writing letters to everybody in that UFO world. I mean, Luis Elizondo, hoping to talk to him because basically he's one of the top speakers out there right now. But he's not saying much. And the first question I would ask him, if I give you information, do you have to give it back to the government? He said he's part of the government. So he was in the army and he's still kind of in it. So whatever that means. So how much truth can he give us? But on the other hand, all these other speakers out there telling what they believe and what they think. Who cares? Without proof, it's useless. Totally useless, people. All right, now I put the link up there. Text me, text Tina. Either way, we're here for you, not for ourselves. We're not making money. She's not making money. She needs money right now pretty bad. But again, the world's changing dramatically and not for the better. So if you can get yourself in a place and you want to help out, do whatever you want. Send a donation, send us something, whatever. You got an artifact, you want a video, picture, you name it. We'll help you. We'll deal with it. We'll try to promote it. Truth is all that matters in my world. Lies are useless. All right, people. I don't want to keep you much longer. I'm just glad you came. You're here. You stuck it out. Thank you for being here. All of you in the chat. People that are listening to this. Send this link to other UFO people. Tell them to grow a pair of balls and text me and debate me. If they think any of their truth's real or important, come on my show. We'll do it live or do it off the air. I'm not afraid to speak to anybody on this planet. And I wish Putin, Trump, and Biden were all in the same room. And I tell them all to go to hell because it's not giving the truth out to the world. They're all hiding things and they feed us little drips and drabs of junk. Money, it's not real, people. Death is not real either, but unless you're aware, it's death to who you are. So with that, love, light, compassion, whatever you need in your life, I hope you get it. Look for the truth. Don't accept the lies. Don't listen to anybody. Until you can prove it to yourself inside yourself, don't believe it. Don't believe a word I say until you start working at it to prove to yourself that some of this stuff is real. Many people don't believe in a real God. They want to believe there's a God when they die. They want to believe that they're going to be saved. They want to believe all this stuff, but it doesn't mean anything unless you can prove it to yourself. That's why learning how to leave your body is so critically important. and not going into a spaceship. All right, till next time. Tina doesn't like to talk about spiritual stuff because she believes God didn't help her. Well, karma is more important than anything else in this realm. What we did in our past lives create the karma of what we're living in now. But you want to learn the truth, come to my workshop. Other than that, enjoy your day, enjoy your night. Till next time, Tommy Hawksblood here, calling from the Big Island of Hawaii.